Yeah, ask her if she leashes her dogs.
Alright. Alright, we are at Katsucon. As you can see, we have a ton of cosplayers down there right now, and we are going to be talking to as many of them as we can. Specifically, we want to know what is their most overrated and what is the most underrated anime of all time. It's a hard question, but I can't wait to see what people have to say.
Katsucon was my first ever con. I absolutely enjoyed my time and appreciate everyone who is willing to be in the video. I'll have links to all their socials in the description below, so go support them. This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. Get a discount on your purchase using the link in the description.
All right, we got our friend here. We're gonna ask, what is the most overrated anime?
I gotta say, probably Evangelion. For me, I don't know. It never struck with me. It's a little, maybe it's a little too highbrow. Maybe I'm just small brain, but it was just a little too pretentious in my opinion.
All right. But what's the most underrated anime then?
Ooh, if I had to say, honestly, Gantz. Y'all ever seen Gantz? It's the best, worst anime and manga. Manga's really good, well, in a bad way. I don't know. Honestly, the story. And it makes no sense. It's awful, but I really love it. It's so stupid.
Thanks, man. All right, I have a question for you. What is the most overrated anime?
Off the top of my head, Tokyo Ghoul. Just can't get into it.
Can't?
Just can't do it.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just, I tried watching it. It's the same thing with, like, personally for me, Black Clover as well. I just tried to watch a few episodes, just could not get sold into it. It wasn't anything particular.
Gotcha.
It was entirely on me. I just couldn't do it.
All right. So what's the most underrated anime?
Most underrated anime? Not a lot of people talk about Lupin the Third. I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, and it needs more recognition.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
All right. What is the most overrated anime?
Sword Art Online. I just don't like it. I don't get the hype. I don't know. I just think it's not that great. But everyone always hypes it up so much. So.
And what do you consider the most underrated anime?
Mob Psycho 100, best anime of all time, my favorite anime, and I feel like people don't talk about it enough. It's incredible.
So you like it more than One Piece?
Yeah, I do.
Well, thank you so much. All right, what is the most overrated anime?
Hunter x Hunter.
Why?
I just don't see the hype in it.
My Hero Academia.
Ooh, why?
I don't know. Fandom's too cringe. I tried getting into it, and it's just, I don't know. It's not worth the hype, I think.
Probably My Hero Academia. Probably. I don't know. Maybe it's not as overhyped. It's just community, really.
Okay.
It's a little,
That comes from somebody that only got to season 2.
All right, so what's the most underrated anime?
In my opinion, I think the most underrated would be, what's that name? I literally showed it to you. What was it called?
I don't know.
High Dive. It's a newer one.
It's not Eminence in Shadow, is it?
Yes, Eminence and Shadow.
I'm pretty sure that got plenty of
Yeah.
love, but yeah, I love
But
it.
it's a little underrated in my opinion.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
So it might be kind of well known, might kind of not. It's kind of an older anime. It's called Shiki, and it's like a horror anime. It's actually really good. I suggest people watch it.
That one was really good. I love that one.
All right, how about for you?
For me, I can't really think any at the top of my head. Probably season 2 of Vinland Saga. I don't know, I felt like that didn't get a whole lot of love because people were like, oh, the old Torfrey was better. Yeah, which I thought was bullcracks. I thought they're missing the point of the overall story. It's supposed to be him overcoming his evil side and becoming a better person. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you guys. All right, I gotta ask you guys, what is the most overrated anime?
One Piece. One Piece. I don't hate to say it.
And what is the most underrated anime?
Fruits Basket.
Hold on, say that again.
Fruits Basket.
Yeah, Fruits Basket.
Why'd you say that?
Because it's the best.
I had a
don't
friend that
know.
told me that it wasn't that good, and I said, you're very wrong.
The reason that people hate it is because they don't have any depth.
Love it. I appreciate it. All right, I gotta ask you guys, what is the most overrated anime?
Oh, definitely Code Geass. Code Geass is like actually like low tier mecha. The politics are so dumb. Nothing. It only makes sense out of a whole bunch of like coincidences.
Okay, all right. That is a hot take, I bet. What is the most underrated anime?
Kengan Ashura. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of CGI, but in the fights, it's actually, I don't know how they would have done it without a CGI. So.
Oh, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, I gotta ask you, what is the most overrated anime?
My Hero Academia.
Is there any specific reason?
I just don't enjoy it that much, and I think the writing could be better.
Bungo Stray Dogs.
And why do you say that?
Because Edgar Allan Poe has a pet raccoon instead of a raven. And
Immediately
that's
done. Also, they're always sticking their butts up in the air.
Yeah, what's up with that? What's up with that?
Bungo fandom. Let go.
Beautiful. And what is the most underrated anime?
Osamatsu-san. Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because it's just a delightful little sketch comedy that I think more people should enjoy. It's about 20-year-olds too, and I'm in my 20s, so I love them.
There you go.
Dororo.
Why do you say that?
It's so good, and no one seems to have watched it. I don't know.
Psyche K.
Oh, and why do you say that?
I think it's so funny, the dub and the sub too. It's like any language is like laugh out loud funny, and I feel like I don't see enough people talking about it.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, I gotta ask you guys, what is the most overrated anime?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I agree, but why?
I don't think it deserves number one. It's good, don't get me wrong, but number one on my anime list, we got Steins Gate. Like, come on.
And how for you?
Solo leveling. I know it's new, so the hype, but it's still so ridiculously overrated. Songs you were boring. Side characters worthless. No one else can get stronger by the MC. That sucks. That's the worst power system ever. All right.
I love it. I absolutely love it. He's mad that Sung Jin Woo would solo Sukuna.
Oh! All right. Well, we talked about overrated. What is the most underrated anime?
Gurren Lagann. I think that it's sort of like okay overrated, but like, let's be real. Nobody cosplayed this yesterday, and I was the only Kamina. Like,
Alright.
Go watch Pluto. It's awesome. It's really good. Watch it.
Alright, thank you guys so much. Alright, I got a question for all of you. What is the most overrated anime?
Overrated anime, I would definitely have to say One Piece. I'm gonna get so much fire for that, but sorry.
I love it.
One Piece.
Oh, that's two.
For me, it's gotta be Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry, the fights are just too samey. I used to love it as a kid, but now it's lost its spark for me.
My favorite overrated anime is Hero Academia.
And what is the most underrated anime?
I've gotta say Black Lagoon. It's a short anime, but it's action, action, action. It's got thick in it. I don't think anyone watches it.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, man, I love it.
It's not like that underrated, but Bungo Stray Dogs, more people need to watch it. The crimes and stuff are genius.
And my most overrated still Demon Slayer, because I've watched it over like 2 years, and it finally caught me a bit inspired, and that's why the characters were so beautiful, and everything else, and their fighting skills, like it was like everything was incredible, and they did really good, and the ending stuff was so well, and everything else, and yeah.
Thank you guys so much. All right, I gotta ask you, what is the most overrated anime?
My Hero Academia.
Oh, why?
Oh, I just feel like it's so overrated. It's common now. It's too common.
The anime everyone knows. Like when they first hear about.
Yeah, like Dark Deku. It's just
like if you're just now getting into anime, that's probably one of the most first ones you know about.
Yeah.
So do you agree with?
I would say so. Yeah.
All right. And what would you say is the most underrated anime?
One Piece.
I'm gonna have to say Dr. Stone.
All right.
Oh, he's great. Disgrace.
I only saw like one senku
Okay,
today.
Dr. Stone is fair. I agree, but we're dressed as One Piece. That's just
Blasphemy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, what would you consider the most overrated anime?
I would say Demon Slayer is the most overrated anime.
Why?
I don't know, I just can't get behind it. It's really slow, and I lost interest pretty quickly. Tried, but
failed miserably.
I agree. What do you consider the most underrated anime?
I say that Ruby's the most underrated anime because you don't really hear too many people talk about it, but I see so many things on TikTok and I see so many edits, honestly, and the fan art and the cosplays are just phenomenal. Also, the animations are outstanding in my opinion.
Thank you so much. What would you consider the most overrated anime and why?
I'm gonna tell you what. I think the most overrated anime is Dragon Ball Z. It's been going on too long. There's so many iterations. What is even the plot anymore? The fighting scenes are too long. I'm sorry.
Love it.
I think the most overrated show is Jujutsu Kaisen. I get it's sad, but so are a lot of other shows that I think do it a lot better, in my opinion.
I think the most overrated anime is Attack on Titan because is it good or is it just a World War II allegory with death as a shock value?
I would say an overrated anime would be Chainsaw Man because I didn't finish watching it.
Did you know that the voice actress for Makima is here today?
I didn't.
Should I tell her that you said that?
No, I'm
All right.
scared of Makima.
Perfect.
Oh, and underrated. I'm gonna make some enemies with this one too.
Go for it.
Full Metal Alchemist.
I agree 100%.
I don't like the art style.
Love it.
So feel free to hate me, I guess.
Perfect. And what would you consider the most underrated anime?
The most underrated anime? I mean, okay, so I'm gonna say Tokyo Ghoul. However, not because I think it as a whole it's underrated. I think people are like, oh, they ruined it with the anime. But the first season actually is really good. So I would say the first season of Tokyo Ghoul. That's my answer.
All right.
Most underrated is Skate the Infinity because more people should care about gay skateboarders.
I would say the most underrated show that I've watched is Toradora. It's a really amazing show, and I know that people don't always love slice of life, but that it'll get you. It has some great life lessons in it, and it's like definitely deserving of a watch.
I think the most underrated show, probably not a lot of people will know it, but D. Gray Man. It's an older one, but they also had a reboot called D. Gray Man Hollow, and their manga is still going, but they go on hiatus a lot. See a lot of great cosplays from it. It's tragic, it's beautiful. You should watch it.
Perfect. Thank you. I have to ask you, what is the most overrated anime?
I'm gonna have to go with Naruto Shippuden. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's just more of like I've heard people say like, oh, I prefer it over the original Naruto. And the original Naruto just has so many great moments of actual ninja tactics. And once it gets into Shippuden and starts getting into the more like absurd fights, even though Pain versus Naruto and everything, I love it. It starts to go a little crazy. So I'm gonna go with Naruto Shippuden.
How about you?
I'm gonna break a few hearts, but maybe I'm gonna say Demon Slayer. Just it's like I really do like the character design and everything. Story kind of trails off towards the end. Not gonna run into any details over there, but I just kind of feel like it was like one sob story after another, and it was at some point I was kind of like, okay, let's keep going.
And what would you consider to be the most underrated anime?
Social Stabber Orphan. It is basically a guy named Orphan and his friend Magic and a couple of people just go on adventures, but it has a lot of really deep gender stuff going on through it, as well as just a wonderful opening song. And anybody who grew up in like the 2000s where they used to watch like stuff on DVD, they would have like promos from ADV Films. I used to watch it on repeat, so it's a great show to watch.
Nice. And what would you consider your most underrated anime?
I actually wanted to say Kakegurui over here. I know I've seen like a little bit of cosplay for it. I was surprised I didn't see more, but I think the first season was like, it was really exciting. Got me excited about like just like the gambling aspect, and I feel like I haven't had that rush about an anime in a really long time. So yeah, that's my answer.
Great. I gotta ask you, what is the most overrated anime?
Overrated wise, personally, my be an unbiased opinion. I would say JoJo Bizarre.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like JoJo to an extent, but I feel like it just gets too much too much accolades sometimes, and just overhyped sometimes. But that's just my personal opinion.
Alright. What would you consider your most underrated anime then?
Underrated? I would definitely have to put Bungo Stray Dogs in that.
Okay.
Bungo needs some more credit.
Why do you say that?
Because Bungo Stray Dogs, it's just not action only, but it's a lot of thought behind it.
Okay.
And I feel like people just maybe think about what's like mainstream wise, and Bungo doesn't get enough mainstream.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I gotta ask you, what is the most overrated anime?
Sorry. Oh, okay. So the most overrated anime, and oh my god, I could go on for a long time with this one. Solo Leveling.
Why?
I could go on. Honestly, it's just the plot is so bad. It's so, like, I watch it and I'm just like, watching it because it's bad. But it's like, the plot is like, why are you so miserable? And like, you're just all the time, and then your character is all about like, well, fuck everyone else because, oh, you know, they're all horrible people, they're all terrible, they f everyone else over, and then here I am like doing the same exact thing that I'm like, oh, you're a terrible person, I'm gonna do the same thing because you know what, I don't need anyone, I'm gonna be like, it's so annoying, and he's not even hot, everyone says he gets hot, he's not hot. I could go on, but I'm not gonna.
Great answer.
I kept going.
How about for you?
Shield Hero. I watched the first season. I have a similar problem with the protagonist, that he's just a pathetic. And Raftalia, the raccoon girl, pretty cute. It's weird that she's a slave. Don't like the vibe.
That is also very valid. And how about for you?
Hot take, Neon Evangelion.
Really?
I think it's so overrated. I've tried watching it 4 times now, and each time, I don't like it. The pacing is awful. Some of the themes, not great. Like, I'm looking at you, Misato.
Great. And these are some great answers. Very detailed, too. And what would you say are some underrated animes?
I gotta go with World Trigger.
Okay. And why do you say that?
I feel like it's just not a series I ever see people talk about, and there's a decent amount of it too. Like, the first season has like 52 episodes, and there's like 4 seasons that only get better.
Nice. And how about for you?
I would say Dororo. It got trapped in Amazon Prime prison, so it's not on a lot of platforms. So it's, if you like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, it's animated by MAPPA. The music's amazing. It's a complete story in 26 episodes. It's beautiful. Highly recommended.
And how about for you? Is it Solo Leveling?
Yeah, no, I love it actually. So I would say for me, I'm more of a manga person. Okay. I've always kind of liked the story and the pacing in manga more, and you get to go more into detail. For me, recently, The Summer Hikaru died. It's actually a brand new manga. It came out in America, yeah, literally this year. I think it was at a recent con that it released.
Otakon.
Yeah, Otakon. And honestly, it's great. I think most people see it as the BL tag. They're like, oh, well, that's not really my thing, you know, but it's mostly horror, and it's mostly that psychological horror. It has great pacing, and it's a great mood builder, and it's honestly terrifying. It's depressing as hell if you like that kind of stuff, and honestly, I love it so much. We were cosplaying it like earlier, and we had a few people, but not many. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And that is a wrap on this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and comment what question I should ask next time, because I really enjoyed doing this and I'd love to continue doing it. Just let me know and I'll see if I can hit up another con and do this again.